As business owners, write-offs help us reduce the amount of income we pay tax on, which keeps more money in our pockets. It's the simple things we as business owners forget to account for. And as a seasoned tax professional, I can tell you those simple things add up. That is why in this video, I am going to give you the top most overlooked write-offs for business owners. But before we jump in, I'm gonna need you to like, comment, and subscribe so you don't miss out on any wealth building information. And check it out. If you watch to the end of this video, I will give you my #1 strategy for making sure you don't miss out on those business expenses. So let's get after it. Business phones and internet expenses. Let me tell you, because it's become so common that we have internet, so common that we have cell phones, that we forget that that is an absolute write-off. Even if you're working from home, you have to realize you cannot do any business unless you have internet connection. You cannot connect to anything without having a cell phone to be able to talk to people. So do not forget that as a write-off. Business subscriptions and memberships. Oh my goodness. How many subscriptions do we have to things that are on auto payment, autopilot, that we literally just forget about? I know for me, I have a lot of auto payments coming out of my bank account for different subscriptions. For example, what about your Costco or Sam's Club subscription? Are you writing that off as a business expense? I know many of you are going there picking up business items, but you're probably not even thinking about, I should be writing off that annual fee. So do not forget about your business related subscriptions, and memberships are things that should be business related that you have classified as personal. Business related education expenses. When you are online and you're buying programs and when you're educating yourself, those are business related education expenses. Even if you go purchase somebody's program on how to successfully run your business or how to manage your employees, you have to realize that business related education expenses may not come in the same format like if you were going to a university, like if you were going to a junior college. You have to realize that education expenses come in different ways. What if you were to go spend some time with somebody and you actually travel to a location to meet up with them and you incurred some costs? You got to start thinking about how to classify your expenses, and your business related education expenses go overlooked all the time. Another example would be like YouTube University, where you're paying influencers to teach you various things, or you have a subscription to somebody's YouTube channel. You want to make sure you're taking that as an education expense, because you are getting educated. Anything that is going to put knowledge in your head, that is going to make you a sharper business person, anything that's going to help you move you from point A to point B, you need to make sure you're taking that as business related education expenses. Business related meals. When you are going out to dinner, going out to lunch, you want to make sure that if you're going to be talking business with people, and if you're a business owner, I cannot imagine that that business conversation is not going to come up. I don't think there's a time that I sit and have a meal where business does not come up. You need to make sure that you keep track of that receipt. You need to flip that receipt over, and you need to write on that receipt right there who you met with, why you met with them, and what you were talking about, because you won't remember it a year or two down the road, or when it comes time to get your taxes done. So you want to make sure you're capturing all your business related meals. And we do a lot of meetings online by Zoom. If you are doing lunch and learns, if you are having business meals online with somebody by Zoom and they're not necessarily in person, do not think for 1 second that you cannot take that as a business write-off, because you absolutely can. And you guys know how much I love coffee. Do you think that coffee is a business expense? You better believe it is. Carla does her coffee talks, right? Absolutely. So make sure that you get your business meals written off, and make sure you include the coffee or whatever it is that you enjoy while you're interacting with others. Vehicle expenses. Many of you think that your vehicle expense is purely the cost of your vehicle, or you use only the standard mileage rate. I am going to tell you right now that you need to make sure that you're getting all your vehicle expenses written off. The #1 thing that I'm going to tell you need to do is make sure you're keeping your mileage log. Make sure you're going in, getting your oil changes. You get your odometer reading, beginning of the year, the middle part of the year, the end of the year. Why do I say that? Because you want to be able to back into your miles for the year. And you want to have concrete evidence as to what those miles are, even if you choose not to take the standard mileage rate. Some of you may choose to take actual expenses. And we know those expenses can include gas. Where I'm located, gas is very expensive. Insurance is expensive. Maintenance is expensive. Even car washes, whatever it is, track all your absolute out-of-pocket expenses, compare that against your standard mileage rate, and make sure you get your vehicle expenses in there, and realize you can use your vehicle for both personal use and business use. You just have to allocate between the two. Again, it's not or, it could be and. I use my vehicle for personal use. I commute back and forth to work, and I use my vehicle for business. You just want to make sure you only write the business portion off on your income taxes. Home renovation tax credits. A tax credit is like a gift where someone is paying taxes for you. There are a lot of credits that you can get in terms of like energy credits for doing renovations on your home that you own. If you're putting in a new heater, if you're putting in new windows, if you're upgrading your appliances to be more energy efficient, you want to make sure you're thinking about the tax credits. Maybe getting your windows in your home is not going to be a write-off, but there could be a tax credit for the cost that you incur. And when you use tax credit, that's dollar for dollar. And some tax credits are refundable. So I want to make sure that when you are getting your taxes done, you ask about tax credits. Charitable contributions and donations. Of course, if you are going to church every Sunday and you are tithing, you're going to get your statement, right? Absolutely. You're going to remember that. But what about the Girl Scout cookies? You guys know you're eating Girl Scout cookies, okay? You know you are. I'm eating Girl Scout cookies and I need to stop. What about the donations to the Boy Scouts? What about all the other things that we are doing where we are making payments to nonprofits, 501(c)(3)s? What about the dues we pay for our kids to play football? Is any of that a write-off if we're contributing to a nonprofit organization? I really want you to start thinking about your charitable donations and contributions differently. You guys are missing out on those because you're not really taking the time to aggregate them. You're saying to yourself, oh, I did that GoFundMe for $20. Oh, I bought those Girl Scout cookies and I spent $500. That's right, them Girl Scout cookies are good. You spent $500 on them Girl Scout cookies. You guys don't aggregate those things together. And when you do, you're layering. Now your expenses are starting to increase. So you want to make sure you maximize that. Also, when you guys are cleaning out your garage, cleaning out your cars, stop throwing stuff in the trash. Start taking those things to Goodwill and other type of nonprofit organizations that accept our used goods. Get your receipts so you can maximize your deduction. Another write-off that you guys miss is advertising and marketing expenses. This is huge, especially those of you that are paying for your blue check marks. If you are a business person, that is now a write-off for you. You want to get that and get that as a write-off. You're doing a lot of things that could be classified as advertising and marketing. I'm going to be honest with you. Anytime I'm gift giving, anytime I'm doing anything, I'm marketing. I don't give people gifts. I give people marketing material. I want to make sure anything that I'm doing is going to be an advertising and marketing expense. Put engraving on items that you want to give to people. Give it away as a marketing expense versus giving it away as a gift. It needs to be marketing. If you're getting something from Carla Dennis from KDA, there is going to be our logo on it. It is going to be advertising and marketing because I don't have time to do anything else. I'm all about running my business as you should be. So you got to start thinking about ways to get your write-off. So do not overlook your advertising. Do not overlook your marketing. Do not think that those little things don't add up to big things because they are big things. So make sure you capture that every single time. Now, this is something that is really near and dear to my heart is getting your business related travel written off. When you are traveling and you're thinking about how you can make your travel a business write-off, you always want to have that mindset before you travel. You want to plan it out. So look to see prior to traveling, is there an event going on that I can attend? Is there something in that location that I can actually go to, get some documentation, get some pictures so I can justify my trip as business travel. When you are traveling, you are a business person. There are no more vacations. There are only business trips. You want to make sure that you're doing something on the front of the trip, in the middle of the trip, and the end of the trip. So you're getting that business related travel written off. You got to make sure you document it, because this is one of those areas that IRS requires great documentation. So why did you take that business trip? How is it going to help your business? Who did you visit? Document, 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 because you're going to need a log to make sure you can support your business travel. I want you guys to realize the number one strategy for making sure you don't overlook your business expenses is to manage them all year. I want you to utilize my 12 by 12. That means at the end of every month, you're going to take one day and you're going to go through your credit cards, you're going to go through your debit cards, you're going to go through your checks account, your bank account, and you're going to look for your business expenses. If you have a meal written down, you're going to write down meals. You're going to write down who, what, when, where, and how for that meal. If you have business travel, you're going to write that down. You're going to categorize your expenses as you go, because when it's time to file your taxes, you're 365 days later. You're not going to remember. It's going to be easy to track it when you do it once a month. It doesn't become overwhelming, and you will get more business expenses written off than you ever thought before. Don't cheat yourself, because you're the only reason why you are not minimizing your taxes and you're not keeping more of your money in your pocket. And you already know the deal. When you know better, you got to do better, which is why I want you to like, I want you to subscribe, and I want you to comment so I can keep you updated on all things business and tax.